Oh boy. Will Smith, folks. Will Smith. I mean, as if we haven't talked about this shit show enough. But here's the thing, guys. We got to talk more about it because now we're finally, a couple days later, after the dust is settled and after people have, looked at the backlash online and after they've seen all of the mobs attempting to go out there and cancel anyone who's critical of Will Smith and his actions, because there's been a fair amount. We looked at that yesterday. And there's been an update on that one too, but I'll talk about that later, because I just don't have the graphics handy. And the reality of it is that Will Smith was going to be facing some form of punishment. We just didn't know what it was. It felt like the Academy just kind of rolled over and exposed their belly. They didn't want to upset the show. Well, it looks like there might be more to the story. So according to Variety here, the Academy has started disciplinary proceedings against Will Smith, and apparently expulsion is on the table. And that is something that I've talked about. I've said ban him, right? Ban him for life. And I stand by that. I love the guy. I love his movies. I can't wait to see what he does next. But I believe with his actions, he lost that privilege. 100% lost that privilege. But let's find out more. Days after Will Smith slapped Chris Rock during the 94th Oscars telecast on Sunday, the Board of Governors held an emergency meeting to discuss the consequences for the Best Actor winner. He now faces suspension, expulsion, or other sanctions permitted. The statement from the Academy is highly damning, citing the standards of conduct and Smith's violations of inappropriate physical contact, abusive or threatening behavior, and compromising the integrity of the Academy, as if there was fucking integrity in the Academy. We already know this bullshit anyway, guys. Smith, who won the Oscar for the Best Actor for King Richard not long after the slap, has been given 15 days notice of a vote regarding his violations and sanctions and has the opportunity to provide a written response. The next board meeting is scheduled for April 18th, when the Academy may take disciplinary action. If they fucking don't take disciplinary action, it's going to be bad, right? But here's the thing with that. The disciplinary action that they're going to take, I think we all pretty much know it's going to be very, 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 very not much. You know what I mean? It's going to be very not much. It's just going to be a slap on the wrist is what they're going to do. Right? Murdoch here says this is fair if he's banned forever. 100%. Right? Yeah, 100%. Should Jada be banned? Jada didn't do anything. And that's also part of the fucking problem, H-Parts. Right? That's the thing I want to know. I want to see that footage. I want to see the other side of that footage. I want to see the look she gave him. I want to see what she motioned for him to do, if at all. Right? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I want to see what happened with Jada, and a lot of people do, because she finally spoke up today, and believe me, it's tone deaf as you might think. But anyway, here's where it gets a little crazy. Here's where we get a little bit more information, something you didn't quite realize. One notable new bit of information is the Academy stating that they asked Will Smith to leave the Dolby Theater, but Smith refused. One of the biggest bits of scrutiny regarding the handling of the moment was Smith not being removed from the auditorium. The Academy has offered clarification, saying Smith was asked to leave but refused, saying we also recognize that we could have handled the situation differently. Really? So you got a guy, right? One of the biggest actors in the world, doesn't matter, goes up, smacks another dude. We've all seen it. Lord knows we've watched it enough here on this particular channel. And someone then says, hey, you need to go. And he sits down and goes, no, I'm not leaving. And people are still defending this guy over this. Right? Now I see here Laser Luke here says, at least he apologized and made some mistakes. All right. But he refused to leave, dude. And then he accepted the award and he put out a bullshit 5-minute thing, right? His little I'm a vessel of love nonsense, and then went off and partied and had the night of his life. And then the next day apologized. I'm not against the apology. It was a solid apology. But my point is that in the actions immediately following, no one else took accountability for what they have to do. All right. That's kind of the whole point. Now, I do agree with Donovan here about the Academy. I think the Academy is lying. Absolutely, I think the Academy is lying. It makes sense for them to lie. It's not gonna do them any damn favors. All right. It's not going to do them any damn favors whatsoever. But here's something that I just came across tonight. And I don't know if you guys have seen this or not, but I came across a video of Chris Rock immediately following the incident. And I want you guys to just see the expression on his face during this time. You know, look at him. He's shocked. That's a shocked face. That's doesn't know what to do, right? Doesn't know what to do. Just kind of chilling, just trying to, keep his composure. But you can see he's got that 1,000-yard stare going on. He's just trying to like figure it out. He's not making eye contact really. I mean, not with the camera at least. He's looking every other way. He's just trying to process it through his brain. What just happened? And of course, like that's the bullshit thing with that. Like, we'll just watch it again. He's just trying to figure it out, like, oh, okay. Like, what's going on? What do I do? What happened? Oh my God. And that makes me like, I haven't seen this yet until tonight. And that makes me feel really bad for him because it's like, again, he's just got slapped the shit out of in live TV and he could have fought back. He could have made a comment about, how Will gets mad in March, but I'm sure he's crying in August, or I should say when August isn't Jada, because that was the guy who he signed off on her having a relationship with that, like, what was like living under the roof or something like that. You know what I'm talking about? And like, that's the whole point is like, they disrespected him. They asked him, they disrespected Rock. They asked Will Smith to leave. Will refused, and they didn't shut the show down and kick him out. Right now, Salty Snacks here says it's live. The show must continue. On that note, man, the producer in me completely agrees. But every one of those after parties should have booted his ass the fuck out, dude. Everyone should have done something, but they didn't. See, Anthony here says, I don't think Jarbo really agrees with this. He's just doing it for the hot take thing. No, I absolutely agree. I think the harshest possible punishment is what should be enacted here. And that's not a hyperbolic hot take. I legitimately, fervently believe that. And this, again, saying this as a person who I like, but this is because this was such a blatant, disrespectful act that embarrassed not only Chris Rock, but Will Smith, everyone who was there, everyone who was watching, every movie fan out there, anyone who loves the industry and the art of making movies. And you think you just kind of wave it away? Like, I don't understand your take here, man. Like, I don't understand your take here. You sit there and say, oh, you have literal rapists who aren't banned. Well, I mean, Harvey Weinstein's banned. You know what I mean? Like, Kevin Spacey isn't going, even though Kevin Spacey has only been accused, never convicted of anything. This isn't a little bit, again, I think your comprehension, Rodney says, oh my God, you're making it seem like Will came on a stage with a gun to Chris. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, it's not about that at all, man. Like, I love this deflection. I love this justification that comes out about this. Oh, well, he just slapped him, right? No big deal. NBD, you guys. It's fine. It's okay that he slapped him, right? Chris had it coming. Sure. Yeah, I made a joke. Absolutely. Right, Rodney? Right, Anthony? Made a joke. He has it coming. Said something mean. Deserves to get slapped the shit out of. Right? That's what you guys are trying to tell me? Because that's what it fucking sounds like. Is that you guys are trying to argue that it's no big deal. That if we look the other way and we just kind of, he's a slap, you know what? He was mad. His wife was disrespecting us. No. We have social norms for a reason, and far too long have we ignored social norms. And when you start pulling whataboutism as a way to try to deflect from actually enacting something that could maybe prevent something like this from happening again, because this is such a unique endeavor, a unique situation, it comes across as minimization and that you're justifying the behavior. And that's not okay. I'm sorry. That's not okay. And this is not McLeod. We're not talking about that stuff, buddy. We're not talking about that stuff. All right. Like, we're not talking about race and about this. This is not about that. All right. This is not about that. Like, you bring that shit up, man. You're going to make it like a whole other fucking thing. Rational here says Will Smith is too much of a big star for them to give him any real punishment, and that's unfortunate. That is true. You know, I'm not going over the top. I'm asking for accountability. I'm asking for them to actually do something and to actually make sure this won't happen again. Right. But that's the whole point, is like, it's disturbing the status quo. Let's see here. I think that's a strong sanction. Okay. So Ronaldo here says, I think a strong sanction is necessary, not only because it's unacceptable, but because it will serve him to grow as a person and mature. Damn straight. But they don't want, again, that's the point. Now, here's the thing. H. Bar sure makes a great point. Says, I've discussed this with my mom, who is a nurse, even though the slap was light, it could still have knocked Chris out and hit his head. That is a reality as well. You don't know what would have happened. It's a slap. Oh, it's an open palm slap. Well, what if he fell back? What if he hit his head? There are elements of that could have possibly happened, which is why these things aren't allowed to happen. And that's the whole fucking point, is you guys are like really trying to make this about something that it isn't. Yeah, Tales from the Hood TV here says he didn't even apologize to Chris Rock in that speech. It took him a full day after partying the night away with his Oscar, getting all the photo shoots, doing, not doing any press, but going through all the photo shoots after the fact and getting through all the rigmarole and all that shit. And then the next day, well, I guess I'd better apologize. Anyway. Tony here. Oh my God. Chris Rock told a joke, but Will Smith delivered the punchline. Oh, dude. That's cray. But it goes on a little bit here. The Academy also offered a formal apology to Chris Rock, the other nominees who attended the ceremony, and the viewers at home and in person who witnessed the event. The letter states, Mr. Rock, we apologize to you for what you experienced on our stage, and thank you for your resilience in that moment. We also apologize to our nominees, guests, and viewers for what transpired during the celebratory event. And yeah, man, that's the whole thing. Is like Chris Rock, he had a bit of a good follow up from that. I'll be fair. All right. He did talk about it though. He did have his thing. He went out tonight. He performed in Boston. And a lot of people were asking, it says here, he responds to it. He says, I'm still processing what happened. Now here's what happened with that. I've got the video clip of this, and I want you guys to let me know what exactly, let me see if I could find, here we go. All right. Yeah, here we go. This is the audio. It might be a little hard to hear. I tried to crank up the volume, but we'll go with it.
How was your weekend? I don't have like a bunch of shit about what happened. So if you came to hear that, I had like a whole show I wrote before this weekend. And I'm still kind of processing what happened, so at some point I'll talk about that shit. And, it'll be serious, it'll be funny. I'm gonna tell some jokes. I'm going to talk about, it's nice to just be out.
God damn it. Anyway, that was that. But here's where it got a little bit on the crazy side. Okay. Cause we finally ended up getting a bit of a response from Jada Pinkett herself, right? She says she finally broke her silence, folks. She finally came out, emerged from the darkness of her $42 million, 150-acre property in Calabasas, California, right? After they had reportedly contacted the sheriff's department to report someone flying a drone over their $43 million, 150-acre property. Okay. So I want to kind of, again, Talk about that. She emerges from the shadow. She comes out from the dark, walks into the light, and wants to let people know that it's time for the season for healing. And there you go with that. But here's what she says. This was simply it. This is it. This is all she posted on her Insta. This is a season for healing, and I'm here for it. Yeah, that sounds about right, don't it? That sounds about pretty decent. That sounds all right. Fine, Jada. It's a season for healing, and I'm here for it. How about the season for fucking apologizing? How about the season for all that shit? Anyway, I'm just saying, right? Now, Tales from the Hood TV here says she broke Will Smith in that red table talk. I think she did, man. I think she did. There's been a lot of people talking about that too. A lot of people bringing up the concept, about that, right? It's that look, man, I love Will Smith, but I always he's a sensitive, he's a softy dude. He's a softy guy. That's the whole point, right? He's a softy guy. And I think Jada was always a bit yeah. Meanwhile, Jaden said, this is how we do it. Exactly. Matt here says she didn't do nothing. That's the whole point. She saw her man get up. She saw her man walk towards him. At no point did she stand up and yell at him to get back to his seat. At no point did she stand up and say, Will, stop it. At no point, even after he slapped him, did she say anything. At no point after the incident happened and they were in commercial break did she say anything. At no point in time did she say anything, except she puts out a fucking a little, I'm here. It's a season for healing, folks. I'm here for it. Nah, man. Nah, there is some grade A enablement that's going on there. And that's going to cost Will his fucking legacy. I'm telling you. It's going to cost him his legacy. Not, again, and I'm not saying cancel people and whatever. I'm just saying it's acknowledge your role in this shit. Lack of action or inaction in those kind of situations when you could intervene, there's still, I think, a small amount of liability, especially in that moment, in that setting, in that context. So something happened. She was clearly okay with it. She was clearly fine with it. Because again, they went off and they did their paparazzi photos and they did their photo shoots and they went out to the club and they partied all night long. They weren't huddling at home trying to figure out how to handle it. They weren't talking to crisis managers. They weren't talking to Chris Rock, apologizing for what happened, hoping he doesn't sue them, for $200 million to take their $43 million property that they have out there. You know what I mean? None of that shit. None of that shit. That's what I'm talking. It's all affluency. It's all nonsense. So, anyway, we'll have to wait and see what happens with that one. I don't quite know. House envy. Dude, I have a 1,500 square foot home on 1.3 acres of property. I'm happy. But I would love also a 150 acre lot in California, man. Anthony here says, Will Smith should be banned for a year. Fuck that, dude. Hold on here. What is the punishment for misdemeanor battery in California? Let's see. Punishable by a fine for the $200 or $2,000 and punishable in a county jail for up to 6 months or by both. So, but I think this is all shot to the credibility, right? This is all shot to the credibility. That's kind of what it is. Again, it doesn't matter if he made fun of her. Anthony, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? Literally, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're every excuse in the book to try to deflect, to try to minimize is what you're trying to do. Every excuse in the book. Every excuse, man. Do you want, did you get off on that? That's my question. Did you like watching Will Smith smack Chris Rock? Is that why you're okay with it? Because you seem really fucking okay with it. So, anyway. James here says his SAG membership is in jeopardy because now they're looking into it. See, that's going to be a big thing. If his SAG membership gets revoked, he can't do movies. He can't do movies.